to the channel. And today's a tag. It's going to be the second anniversary Booktube tag because I've been doing Booktube for more than 2 years now. I started in the spring of 2022 after really procrastinating for maybe the best part of 2 years before actually starting a channel. But yeah, I've really enjoyed my time, so I thought I'd do this tag. It's only like 9 or 10 questions, so it shouldn't take too long, and it really kind of helps me appreciate how long I've kind of been on Booktube. The first prompt is, how many years are you celebrating? So that is 2, obviously. It's been a wild 2 years. I am glad that I'm still here though. Number 2, what has kept you motivated into keep making videos? For me, that's just comments. Not every video of mine gets comments, but when I do, I really appreciate them. Most creators, I'm sure, love to have comments in their videos, something where they can kind of get feedback, something where they can talk to the people that watch their channel, and a way to interact with other channels as well. Number 3 is talk about 3 videos you've made in the past year that you are kind of favorites of yours. And for me, it wouldn't actually be videos I made. I appeared on 3 channels I really appreciated. Over at Cliff's Dark Gems, we talked about horror. Over at Dear Dr. Fantasy with Philip Chase, we talked about fantasy books. And with my friend Duncan from Bath Books, we've been doing a podcast. These were really fun things for me, but they weren't things that I made. Out of the videos that I made, I really enjoyed making my 50 books to read before I'm 50 because it really held me to account on how poorly I've been reading, especially in classics. I really enjoyed my review of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. I really like my Dune review as well. So if you're going to watch a video review of mine, those 2 are probably the best ones. And I really enjoyed my discussion video about getting through a book, just getting through a book, where I talked about a subject that was brought up by Benjamin McAvoy. And yeah, that was a really interesting thought process to go through, and I got some really good engagement from that video. So number 4 is, what have you struggled with over the past year and how do you plan to overcome it? So for me, it's really been my reading time. I've not had as much reading time as I'd like. I like to spend time with my family. I like to work hard in my job, and that has limited my reading time this year especially. So how am I going to combat that? So I've already begun. I've basically given myself less books to read. You know, it's a shame because I love reading and I love putting content up on my channel, but I'm going to have to admit to myself that I wasn't going to read 60 books this year. I'm probably just going to read 40 books this year, and that's the only way I'm going to be able to live a comfortable life at the end of it and be able to balance kind of the 3 aspects of life, you know, your free time, your family time and your work time. It's really important to kind of have a stable structure built there. So yeah, I had to pare back my reading a little bit. That's the way it is. But I'm not going to stop the channel. You know, I still believe I'm reading enough books to kind of be able to talk and have discussions with other creators about it. So yeah, I'm going to keep rolling, just with a few less books under my belt than normal. Right, number 5 is, choose a moment from the past year on Booktube that you would like to relive. Now, for me, it has to be my appearance on Dear Dr. Fantasy with Philip Chase because I was really sick. I don't feel like I gave the best account of myself. Philip said it went okay. I'll take his word for it. He's done plenty of them. But yeah, I was not in the best of health. And it was definitely a struggle to be able to kind of get across onto camera how I was, my thoughts about books and my feelings about Booktube when I was struggling so badly. Right, number 6 is probably the hardest prompt on here. It's, shout out a huge supporter of your channel. Now, previously in my first year, I think that was probably going to have been like MJ or Mike, Kat or Duncan, good friends of mine, creators that have really helped me. But in the last year, a lot of it's been like just the people that are watching my video, the guys that have commented and left comments that have really kind of, when things got tough, made it worthwhile, made it worth continuing to make content. And I want to shout out a couple of bigger channels that helped me as well this year. Philip Chase had me on his channel twice to talk about books. I really appreciated that, Philip. And also Cliff from Cliff's Dark Gems. We get on really well. I've been over in his channel and we have a really good discussion over there as well. Right, number 7 is the best book you've read in the past year. So for me, it's probably between Dune or Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. But there are a couple of other really big hitters in there. I mean, I really love Taipan. think I read that, yeah, I think that's just about within a year. So yeah, there was a lot of, there's a lot of really good books on that list. It's hard for me to necessarily say definitively. I probably won't really look at it critically again until the end of the year. So I'm going to say one of those two most likely. So number 8 is, where do you see your channel in the next year and what do you hope to achieve? I'm going to be honest, because of how much work I've got on and how you know, my family life is at a really poignant point as well. It's really important for me to make sure that those are taken care of. I hope in the next year to just be here for another year, celebrating 3 years on Booktube, having still read on a regular basis, maybe putting a book away each week. That's probably the biggest achievement I can make. There's no point setting view counts and subscriber counts to my channel. It's a small channel. It's really here, so I've got an outlet. So you know, I love the people that watch my videos on a regular basis, and I love seeing you guys in the comments. I love seeing the view count go up, like everyone does, but it's pointless me talking about it, because really the most important thing is just that I'm here for another year, that I don't have to stop, you know, making content because of things that are happening in real life, so to speak, on the outside. So yeah, I just plan to make it to the 3rd anniversary tag. That is the plan. Right, finally, tag someone whose anniversary is coming up. Now, this is really difficult for me because the only 2 people I know that actually started their kind of channels within a few weeks of mine, and I believe they both started like days before mine or like a week or 2 before mine, was Kat from Kat's Novel Adventures and Fred from Read by Fred. Great channels. I still watch on a regular basis. I really enjoy their content. If you haven't watched their channels already, please watch them. And you two guys, you are tagged. I'm sure you've probably got your anniversary video up before mine, because I'm probably being tardy as usual. But you're tagged anyway. Enjoy your 2nd anniversaries. I'm glad that you guys are still here after 2 years, just like me.